Well, it wasn't the same game as it was up in Minnesota. I think Minnesota came in and played much better than they did up at their place. But I'm really happy with our fourth quarter. I mean, that fourth quarter, we were 8 for 12 shooting from the field. We were perfect 10 for 10 from the free throw line. I mean, we only had a 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter. I thought Tommy played really, really well today, both offensively and defensively. She has the highest plus-minus of anybody on our team, and did a tremendous job defensively and had some hard defensive assignments, but also offensively shot the ball well and had a couple steals for us. So really happy with Tony's play.
All right, we'll go ahead and open it to questions.
What do you think happened there at the beginning of the fourth quarter?
You mean like why we finally started making shots?
Oh,
You know, the second quarter we struggled, and quite honestly, Monica struggled a little bit in that second quarter. That's pretty uncharacteristic. And in the fourth quarter, she made some buckets for us. And when you make those high percentage shots, you know, and then get to go to the free throw line that many times, it's a different ball game. I mean, we dominated the paint. I mean, our paint points are 42-22. So we did a really good job defending the paint and getting the ball into the paint.
Monica, you could kind of tell from you and everybody that there was some frustration building there midway, late third quarter. How did everybody kind of mentally reset and, you know, deliver the finish that you guys did?
Yeah, I think in the fourth quarter especially, I mean, we talked about it at halftime, but in the fourth quarter especially, we focused on defense, and I think that's kind of what led to our offensive play. That's why we got more rebounds than we had been getting. We were able to push the ball better. Yeah, I think it all started with the defense. I think we finally all kind of clicked together. Obviously, it needs to happen sooner, but I think I'm just really happy that it did happen in the fourth quarter.
Were you guys surprised by Winters? I mean,
Yeah.
that was her career high.
Yeah, I mean, she averages 11. She has 30 today. I mean, she just had a really great game. And sometimes she, you know, kids are in a zone, and you know, we did a little bit of a triangle and 2 on them. You know, she did a really good job, and she made some hard shots. I thought she made some really difficult shots, some hard floaters and some threes with the people in her face. So, you know, give her credit.
Tell me, you've really taken this opportunity, you know, the last 3 games as a starter and, you know, more of a focal player. What, you know, how have you been able to do it? How has your game really progressed?
I mean, just having that mentality that's always next man up. Obviously, like, McKenna went down, and we knew that, like, we need to pick up scoring offensively and then defensively being a presence. So I think just being more confident in my game and just making sure I can help in any way possible.
Tell me, given against the backdrop of all that with the injuries and then playing some very physical games the last couple of games, what do you think that says about this team and the ability to persevere through all that?
Yeah, just like you said, perseverance and how gritty and resilient we are. I mean, if we have 6'5" players, we're still going to give it the best we got. Some other teams might give up because, oh, we don't have the legs, we don't have the people, but we know that if we have each other, we have enough.
What did it mean to get Gabby back tonight?
That was good. I mean, you know, she didn't get as many minutes as normally, but we didn't want her to play 35 minutes in this game. We wanted to kind of bring her in a little bit slower. It was good just to have her back and to have the depth.
Sarah Scalia gave you fits at times, but then it seemed like you really, in the second half, kind of did a much better job on her. What did you make an adjustment, or?
No, I mean, we really didn't, because we were trying to keep the ball out of her hands the whole game. I'm not sure what she had at half. I forget. I know she was their leading scorer. She had 12 points, and then ended up with 23. But, you know, I think she had to work for her shots. But our goal was to try to keep the ball out of her hands. And obviously, you know, she's a very good player, and she's been playing really well as of late. The last 5 games, she's really picked up a lot of their scoring. And so she was somebody we were trying to focus on.
Monica, you had a few shots rim out there early in the game. It was really one of the first times all season where I've looked down and like she's missing some shots. I mean, you can't get frustrated in that moment. How do you kind of work through that and know that they'll eventually start to fall?
Yeah, I mean, I think a huge part of it is Coach Jay's trust in me. Like, I obviously want perfection out of myself, and so I do get frustrated with myself when that stuff starts to happen. But Coach Jay is always so encouraging, and then Caitlin and my teammates will come over and be like, don't worry about that. Like, we trust you're going to make the next one. Like, their trust in me makes it easier to move forward and kind of let that go. So I think that just speaks to our culture as a whole. I know every single person on this team trusts me to make the next shot. So, I mean, I missed a couple kind of in the elbow area shots, and then Caitlin passed it to me, and I made one finally. And from there on, it kind of felt a little bit more natural. So just knowing she has that trust in me and the whole team does makes it so easy, honestly.
What are the chances that McKenna can come back by Monday?
There's a possibility. We'll know more. She goes back to the doctor tomorrow, and so we'll know another x-ray, and we'll know a lot more tomorrow.
Anything else?
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Was there a little bit of unease there going to the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think, we've kind of been tested in the fourth quarters and haven't always pulled it out. So I think that was a good test for us. That's what March is going to be about. You're not going to win by 20 points every single game. And we really knew they were going to give us our best shot. So I thought we played super well. I think Monica really settled down in that fourth quarter. I know she was over 10 points, but I thought she was really good. I thought we cleaned up the glass a little bit better and really got stops on defense ultimately. But, they made some tough shots, so you got to give them credit. They threw a lot of different defenses at us, and, I think overall we just executed and pulled out the win.
How much is this kind of like just a microcosm of what you have to go through in this league, as glamorous as ranked matchups and whatever be,
Right.
You go into a game where on paper it looks like one team's significantly better than the other, and yet it's a 1-point game going to the fourth. How much is that?
Yeah, I just think that speaks to the depth of this league. But, those are the games you want to play, and I'll always say that. I would much rather play in a close game than a 100-point win. I just think that's more fun. I think that's what competitors love to do. Obviously, it was fun going up there and winning by 50 points, yeah, but you're going to get challenged in the Big Ten no matter who it is. I know Rutgers gave Ohio State a really good game the other night too, and Rutgers hasn't even won a conference game. So you have to be at your best in this conference. I think it's the best conference in the country, and we knew they were going to come in here and want to beat us on our home floor after what we did up there.
What did they do better this time?
Yeah, I think overall their offense was better. I thought their transition defense was better. I couldn't really get to the paint as easy. I still got there, but I could kind of tell that was more of a focus for them. I think they tried a lot of different defenses. Last time they only really played man. There was some zone, there was some triangle and two. There was obviously some man, but they were just switching it up more, I think. And we had to be on our toes and be ready to run different sets and things like that. But they made a lot more tough shots than they did last time. They didn't shoot very good, and we shot really well. So,
How have you seen Tommy adjust to the starting lineup over the past couple games?
yeah, and obviously she had a pretty tough assignment tonight guarding Scalia. So, I think Tommy's done a tremendous job. I think she's starting to get more comfortable in that role. Yeah, and really she shot the ball well too. So both ends of the ball, I think she's played really well, and I think just all of us kind of settling in, those people that are getting more minutes and getting used to playing together. But yeah, I think Tommy, she's somebody that's been here for 4 years. She knows the system. She knows how things go. She knows the play. She knows how to play defense. So I give Tommy a lot of credit. I thought she was pretty tremendous and has been over these past few games.
Against the backdrop of all that, and with injuries inflicting people like Gabby and McKenna, what do you think it says about this team to be able to persevere through all that and to come out victorious as you all did today?
Yeah, I think resiliency. I think that's something Coach Bluter talks about every single day. Is nobody cares what's wrong with your team. Everybody else has their own issues. You can't make excuses, and we're not going to make excuses because that's not who we are. That's not our culture, and really nobody else cares when they come and play us. Who's hurt? Who's playing? What's going on in our program. So it's really just next man up, and that's what we work for all year. And I think a lot of people have really stepped up to the plate. Obviously, we're going to get tested going forward, and we really want to get those people healthy for March so we can have some depth going forward.
One more.
Kevin Durant, we talked about him the other day, came out on his podcast. They talked a little bit the first time he saw you play, and then a little bit more about the recent stuff. How nice is it just to have that support? I know Trae Young tweeted about you too. Just kind of to see those NBA guys not only supporting women's sports but supporting you.
Yeah, and I think the NBA in general really supports women's sports, whether it's college basketball or the WNBA. They're not the guys that are in the comments saying bad things about women's basketball. They really love the game. They show up to the games. They love watching, and I think KD more than anybody, he really does it. He doesn't just talk about it. He really proves it. He goes to games. He's always supported me, and he's always been my favorite player. I think he's one of the best players to ever play the game, best scorer to ever play the game, no doubt. But it's super cool. It's kind of surreal. I still feel like I'm just that little kid that just watches them on TV. But no, it's pretty awesome. And to have their support of the women's game is just going to help it grow more and more.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.